God Christ, here the missus. And today I'm talking about why I think there is American suffrage, why I think Americans suffer every day. We need Josh Hawley as president. He's the only person who takes anything seriously. I think that outside of Josh Hawley speaking out in Congress, I think the only person that I really watch for politics is Hassan Piker. I think he does a fantastic job. And I even think that the two of them do a great job talking about the transgender issues. However, this is one thing that brings me into the frustration of knowing people that I don't like in politics. When speaking on the transgender issue, or what would be the sexual side of the political spectrum of rights and what isn't rights, I do think there is a big conversation to have had here, but it could not have been had because of the immaturity of the trans community.
Senator Hawley.
Speaking on the issues of transgender psychology and politics, I do believe there are people that have a good voice to have had been present for this kind of topic if they wanted it to be taken seriously. However, I think these topics end up being pushed away because of immaturity. For me personally, I do not support transgender sex change that is aesthetical or based in a means of sexual-driven momentum. Meaning, if your motives are, I feel really submissive sexually in BDSM, and I'm going to change my gender and be a furry dog girl, femboy, and you're going to get on Discord and yell at me, I'm most likely going to tell you you're not very sane in society. And I want to make this very clear. I don't think of people that made gay marriage legal in America as people to whom are trying to give people's children puberty blockers. Because there's people to whom are, lesbians or homosexuals that literally say transgender psychology is absurd. You shouldn't have, sex altercation surgery. You should respect who you are. It's not altercation surgery to be gay.
Several times you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist
I'm
is
denying that
dangerous.
trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this? Where
No,
they're told
allowed
that
to
they're
question me.
opening up people to violence?
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning.
class. You should join.
Oh, I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot
I
just in
know,
this exchange.
absolutely.
Extraordinary.
A big reason why I believe Josh Hawley would make a fantastic president is that he as an individual is willing to stand against people to whom aren't willing to do their jobs.
That there are hundreds of new domestic terrorism cases in the country, when in fact there are not. Whistleblowers, field agents have also said that D.C. has ordered the use of SWAT teams on non-violent suspects who may have attended a January 6th rally, and they have been ordered to conduct surveillance and knock on doors of people who were not even in D.C. on January 6th. And again, all of this, according to the whistleblowers, these are your agents, all of this in order to make it look as if there's a mass surge in domestic terrorism all across the country, when in fact, the stats are being padded by political directive in your office. They also say, these whistleblowers, the DC leadership deliberately suppressed investigations into Hunter Biden, contrary to FBI procedure, and have also retaliated against FBI agents and whistleblowers who have contacted Congress, which, by the way, they are protected by statute to do so. This is what's happening at your FBI while you are evading oversight hearings. Mr. Director, do you think you're still up to this job?
I absolutely think I'm still up to this job, and I think our workforce feels the same way.
Well, I don't. And frankly, I think you should have been gone a long time ago. And given your behavior recently, I think it only makes it more clear. Are there any travel plans today that we should be aware of that you have? We're supposed to have a second round. Will you be here for that?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
When did society become so deluded and delusional they don't listen to people like Josh Hawley more calmly than they listen to someone like Elon Musk or his estranged transgender daughter? I'm not trying to say that anything that Vivian has gone through didn't happen, but I am trying to say that there's a lot of stuff happening, and I would like to focus on better things to which could be happening, because honestly speaking, that's the problem that comes with the sexual issues. I don't want to tell you that you can't do something with your body, because you'll freak the fuck out, okay? All right? And you don't want us to tell you. There's a little weird when you freak the fuck out, Zoe Zephyr, when you scream that I'm committing crimes of felonies by pushing transgenders to suicide, which I'm not. I don't do that. In fact, I think I'm really more concerned about the fact that no one's really focusing on the issue, because they all want to avoid what is the core of the issue in America. Because if we talk about the hot take on the hot topic, then, people will get a little uncomfortable and try to avoid the subject. So I'm just kind of trying to say, maybe we could all chill out, and, come to a middle ground. To me, the resolution to these issues is Christian unity with proper leadership. I don't believe that people should be charging in and getting in trouble like people did during the Scientology raids. I understand that DDoSing Scientology was something that they felt was a humane issue, but this is something to which the justice system should be taken care of. But the problem is anymore that we're worried the justice system isn't doing anything. And you can see that in 2021 when there was a White House raid. However, to put it plainly, I don't believe in Donald Trump, I don't believe in Joe Biden, and I don't typically vote because I, as an American, don't support corrupt politicians. If Josh Hawley was to be president, I would vote. If I, as a person, could make Josh Hawley president, I would try to. But if I was to try and make Donald Trump president, absolutely not.
Vermin Supreme will take away your guns and give you better ones.
There are conspiracies that Joe Biden's daughter was raped and molested and groomed and gaslighted by Joe Biden in the shower, and as well that she grew up in a household that had some secrets. Donald Trump was weird with his daughter to the degree that everyone believes that P. Diddy had sex with his daughter, and P. Diddy is currently facing charges to which would normally get an average person in trouble very quickly, but he's not in very much trouble, I guess.